does not sound good. Mark Haan, everybody!
Hey, welcome to Inebriated Insights, guys. I'm your host, Mark Haan. Along joining me, Jarrett Kaufman, Christine Tarbet, and as always, our trusty producer, Dave. We are here at Four Seasons Landscaping. We tried to get the hotel. It was out of our budget. So we're going to have to just make do.
Will there still be room service?
Yeah.
Lotion. They'll bring lotion to you.
Right.
And DVDs.
No, Rudy Giuliani will invite me up to his hotel room afterwards. I think that's going to go well.
Got some anal beads there. Wow. America's mayor. Has there ever been a worse fall from grace in American politics?
It's amazing.
America itself.
Like, was he this ridiculous when he was the mayor? I mean,
he was kind of ridiculous. Like, somebody called and was like, "Why can't I have a pet ferret?" And he just fucking freaked out on him. So, and of course, he did a lot of racist shit. He was,
I mean, he was a bit of a character, but I definitely think he has degraded further, which is has really only benefited us in entertainment value.
Isn't he like
he's not been effective in any way, so I don't necessarily have to be upset at how insane he is, like some people. He's been incredibly useless, so he just mostly gets to be incredibly entertaining.
Well, guys, we started doing this show a couple years ago, and we've never really had a positive vibes episode. So this is the positive vibes only episode. It's a lot of good news. Pfizer might have a vaccine for us. We'll see if it's safe.
90% effective rate on their preliminary test. That could be good.
That's true. So let's get into it, shall we?
What's our drinking word for tonight?
Drinking word is loser.
Loser?
See, I don't need to get drunk this time. I can just choose to get drunk.
There you go. Or any derivation of loser.
Lost, loser, losiest.
Losing. Anything above that. But let's go ahead and start up our drinking.
Yeah.
Already did.
I jumped the gun too.
As on November 3rd, Joe Biden, whose campaign was left for dead after the Nevada caucus, completed one of the most improbable comebacks in U.S. history, shattering Barack Obama's 2008 record for most votes and defeating Donald Trump to become the 46th president of the United States, and perhaps more importantly, make Donald Trump an impeached one-term fucking loser.
Drink it up!
Loser.com.
A few thoughts of mine before I shoot over to you guys. This is a big fucking deal. We beat an incumbent president with a rabid fan base, a $1.1 billion war chest, and a huge media ecosystem with Fox News, Sinclair Broadcasting, and Facebook. He got 10 million more votes than last time. Biden got a higher percentage of the vote than Ronald Reagan in 1980. It really wasn't that close. And it's really amazing all the work that activists and people on the ground did to make this happen, especially because we couldn't really canvass this election, even though they did, because they don't give a fuck. The other thing I thought was if we had the media environment that we did in like the 1970s when it was just ABC News, NBC, CBS, I think Biden would have gotten like 470 electoral votes. But the thing that's going to be the hardest for us going forward is just all of this disinformation on the internet and on Fox News. I have friends and family that are not bad people, but have just gone into a really bad space and are being fed bullshit and aren't fact checking it. So those are mostly my thoughts. Dave, I'm going to shoot it over to you first.
A lot of things. One of the funniest things is that the creme de la creme of Trump's narcissism is, even though he lost the popular vote, he is gloating that he's
lost.
There you go. Lost. Thank you. He is gloating that he had the most votes out of any standing president. That's his crowning achievement right now. He
Any
lost.
win he can take.
Lost again. Lost. by 5 million votes. That's like saying that you were on a race against Usain Bolt in the 100-meter dash, and both of you shattered the world record, but Bolt still got first and you got second, and you're like, I broke the world record. I'm the fastest person on earth. And you're like, no, dude, you just lost by Bolt.
I would actually defend anyone who managed to get the second best time in history and only lost it to Usain Bolt, because that's pretty fucking
That would be
fantastic.
pretty good. Agreed.
That person I would give a lot more credit to than Donald Trump.
Then, yes.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, he got more votes than any presidential candidate ever, but Biden got 75 million votes. So
yeah, over 5 million more than him. Yes.
It's a lot. And it's just like if any other election, if you were to lose by 5 million popular votes, you're like, there's no contest. So I don't know about you guys, but I was shitting bricks, scared, like really scared when I went to bed on Tuesday night, not this last Tuesday, but on the 3rd. I thought for sure I was going to pick up my phone in the middle of the night and just see Trump won, like some stupid bullshit.
Like last time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's PTSD.
Yeah, it was totally
really, from last time.
First
of all,
flashbacks.
Dave, where did you learn French? Creme de la creme?
Oh, God.
Oh, my.
I've been studying a little bit, so...
Hello, Duolingo, am I right?
Trilingual. ¿Dónde está biblioteca?
Oh, my.
I don't know, because I don't read. No, I feel like this feels like a season finale, you know, and we're ending on like this really high note, but there's also dun 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 cliffhanger. Will Trump leave office? Will he not? Tune in. It's gonna be interesting.
It's like I was saying before. It's gonna be. It's a shitstorm right now, and it's just gonna get worse.
I was very nervous. I did not sleep very much. I was practically John King not sleeping, and I was literally shivering at times, but when I woke up and I saw Wisconsin and Michigan, I was like, okay, take a breath. And then as soon as, and I was obsessively, I'm sure like you guys did, checking everything, but there were a couple days there where I was useless.
Yeah. I was just
more
checking,
so than normal.
I wasn't even paying attention to the news so much. I was just looking at the electoral map and just looking at the vote total and how many votes from what counties, like what the percentage was coming in, and just kind of doing my own analysis and stuff, not listening to the news, just trying to figure it out. I'm like, okay, I think we got this. All right, we got this. And then as soon as the Democratic numbers started to go up, like they predicted, it was just like, all right, they're right this time, and I can breathe a little bit here. But
yeah,
still.
I think you owe Nate Silver an apology, Dave.
I mean, the polling was still off, but the overall process, like the night of, I was watching. I was watching MSNBC. Now I'm like, people online are always the classic right wing thing is, oh, I bet you get all your news from CNN or MSNBC. I don't. I hate television news with a passion. I don't watch it. But that night, it was the easiest way to get constant live immediate information, and so I was watching it, and like it was scary, and I had my mother texting me all terrified, doom and gloom over like, this is it, it's happening again, we're losing, and I had to remind her, which was partially me reminding myself, that what we were watching was exactly what was predicted.
Yeah,
exactly.
And like, even before I was hearing experts say it, I mean, I've said it on this show before. I predicted exactly this scenario, which is, I said the night of, we're going to get a red mirage because of all the mail-in votes. We're going to get all these states who can't count yet. It's going to look like Trump is winning, and then they're going to keep counting them, and then the Democratic votes are going to overtake it. We're going to win, and Trump's going to refuse to leave the White House, and we're potentially going to end up in a civil war. And we haven't quite hit the civil war stage yet, but everything else was exactly what I said. And then all the experts were also saying it too. So it's not only me being Mr. Prescient.
Yeah, I think they all watched this show, and they were like,
"Yeah, no, that was it."
That guy knows what he's talking about. Since we have two
conspiracy
having,
look at that guy next to that adult bookstore.
That's right. Despite having expected all of it, I was still going, what's going on? Give me better numbers. Give me better numbers. I needed something. And then, going to bed without that was scary.
I was in
waking up was pretty nice.
Yeah, I was in a vicious cycle of Taco Bell and diarrhea.
Which was just the last 4 years anyway.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, Dave, you were fucking freaking out.
Yep.
Texting on. I never lost the faith.
Yeah, you kept your cool, man. I'm proud of you.
I stayed up, and when I saw those ballots come in from Milwaukee while vodka was coursing through my pores, and it was close in Michigan, I was like, yeah, he's gonna pull away. He's gonna win this thing. So, and we won Georgia, which is amazing.
Well, what got me was I checked on that night when he had that press conference, and it looked like he was declaring victory, and I was just like, no. And it was like I was about to go to bed because I had to work in the morning, so I was just like, I am going to turn this off before I have to listen to him speak anymore because I'm not going to be able to sleep. And so I was expecting balloons and tinker tape and confetti and whatnot. And it's like, this is not good. So if
the whole dynamic's been changed, and it's really interesting because we won without Florida, we won without Ohio. Like, classic, must-haves weren't that vital because the whole demographic has shifted. We almost took Texas, guys.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Georgia was unexpected.
Georgia. That's
I mean,
crazy, and we almost took Texas.
Well, I was saying this before, man. Stacey Abrams, she is
800,000 people she got registered.
She's a
and
hero.
That's it.
Like, we all need to. Every Democrat needs to just thank her until they can't.
I thanked her.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't.
I was shitting my pants when I saw Florida when they were like, because they counted their mail-in ballots first. And that's when you could start seeing that Biden didn't get as many votes as they were expecting. And I was just like, oh, shit, it's happening again. Because I thought that all these other states were going to get the same amount. Like, if Florida has these mail-in ballots that aren't getting as many Democratic votes, then these other states are going to follow suit. It doesn't matter if the red's up at first. When these other mail-in ballots come in, it's not going to be enough. So that's why I was really fucked up, like going crazy on Tuesday. So
we definitely didn't estimate properly because, of course, the thing that was happening the entire damn election was everyone kept talking about the Latino vote as though it's one monolithic thing. And many ethnicities, no, it's far more complex than that, particularly considering you have many, many countries involved in Latinos. And with different
if you watch sorry, go ahead.
But we had specific ones who came from socialist regimes who were terrified, and the messaging was very effective in getting them to see Biden as a socialist. Which is hilarious.
The most non-threatening person we could have nominated. Joe fucking Biden.
Oh, he's socialist. He wants to raise taxes back to what they were when Nixon and Reagan was in power. That's obviously socialism right there. So crazy. But sorry, go ahead, Jet.
Oh no, I mean that was essentially that was an example of where Florida. Where it was not accounted for properly, and that's why it was its own special thing. And it did look good for a little while there, but obviously it collapsed in the end.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who's watched 90 Day Fiancé knows Cubans and Central Americans, they don't get along. And so I was well aware of that. You should definitely check it out. It's really a socio-political amazing documentary series on TLC.
I gotta add that to my
add it because it will open your eyes to so much. So much. But no, definitely. I mean, you also have, of course, a strong Catholic base in both the Cubans and different Latin American countries, and a lot of them will go that abortion thing, even though we know Donald Trump, so many abortions. There's no way that man hasn't paid for at least
he has to have spent tens of thousands of dollars on abortions.
That made me sad. That
luxury abortions.
Because I was like, we're probably not going to be able to take out Rubio in 2 years. And that made me really sad.
Oh, he is the worst because he never was this. He was never this crazy, like, conservative. And then I saw that's what plays. So now, you know, that's his thing. He is the biggest weenie. He's a wiener head.
He's
that was our secret.
That was the other one.
Our secret word. Secret word.
With that, we're going to move on to our next positive story. Please.
Yay!
Oh, sorry. Here we go.
I feel like Kelly Ripa.
There we go.
Hard to chug wine. Two conservatives.
Hey, not if you don't try. I don't know what to say. Never mind. If you try hard enough, it's not hard. That's what I meant to say.
Gotcha. Two conservatives on the Supreme Court, one of them, quite surprisingly, voiced opposition to the plaintiffs in California versus Texas on Tuesday, a court case brought by several Republican attorneys general designed to challenge the constitutionality of the ACA, based on the argument that because Congress made the tax penalty for not having health coverage $0 in the Republicans' tax bill in 2017, it is no longer a tax. Therefore, the entire law is unconstitutional and must be thrown out. Yes, it's as fucking stupid as it sounds. Chief Justice John Roberts, speaking to one of the plaintiffs, this is one that wasn't surprising. I think it's hard for you to argue that Congress intended the entire act to fail if the mandate were struck down when the same Congress that lowered the penalty to $0 did not even try to repeal the act. This one was surprising because Brett Kavanaugh added, while he spoke to a representative from the House of Representatives, I tend to agree with you. It's a very straightforward case for severability under our precedents, meaning that we would excise the mandate and leave the rest of the act in place. Now, this doesn't mean that they'll vote on that way, because maybe Amy Coney Barrett will sacrifice a goat to the gods of ripping healthcare away from people or something. But Jet, does this give you any hope that the ACA won't be struck down?
Yeah, minor hope. I think this has been a consistent theme we've seen where the Trump appointees have not towed the line that was expected them to. Partially because, and this is probably the most important part of it, most of what Trump wants brought before the Supreme Court isn't based in any actual legal precedent or law or reasonability or anything reality based. So most of his efforts are so half-assed, so poorly argued, so poorly thought out that when they get before the Supreme Court, even his appointees who he expected to follow a certain plan are like, I literally can't go along with this. If I do this, it becomes incredibly obvious that I'm not doing my job. I think there's a few other factors in play as well with the justices, is that for the most part, none have turned out to be quite as bad as we expected, probably because they are skewing, younger than the ones who've been around for a long time, and younger people, even if they're conservative, are slightly less so than the older conservatives. Again, they seem very, in some ways, very hell-bent to prove themselves as constitutionalists, as people who are really reading the letter of the law as it's written. And so in some ways they have something to prove that prevents them from just doing the shiny showboaty thing that was that the right hoped they do. So in those regards, it's not as though I feel safe. I definitely don't, and especially Amy Coney Barrett scares the hell out of me. But I bet we're going to be surprised by her at times, just because that's what's happened. And I especially Kavanaugh and Gorsuch have a history of voting in ways that no one expected. So I feel decent about it. And then more importantly, we're presumably going to have Biden in office. We're going to have some efforts to make the ACA as it is right now irrelevant by bumping it up and improving it and rewriting it and doing things that hopefully just override all of these problems.
So I always thought that, it seemed like Republicans, I feel like people are just finally getting on to them of like, hey, your type of complaint is bullshit. And I feel that's like the Supreme Court's finally kind of catching on to that. Like, this is just bullshit. Like, why are you even wasting our time bringing this to our attention? And I'm glad that somebody's got to recognize this. It's like I was saying before. I like last shows. Like, I have not met a person that I would feel is a smart individual who's a Trump supporter, and it's starting to bleed into the whole entire their party. It's just like, why can't you just use your brain? Like, why? Like, this is just dumbfounding that they would bring this up like this. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Jet's, sorry. I was gonna say Jet's right. I mean, we've been what has saved us in a lot of ways is Trump's incompetence.
Yep.
And like, if he was even remotely competent, we would be so screwed.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Like,
if we had Pence instead, if Trump died and Pence took over, we'd be fucked.
Right?
Not that I respect Pence in any way, but at least he is a competent human being.
But Pence seems like an idiot as well. He's just a fucking drone.
Yeah.
He's a yes man. I'm like, what he goes along with is ridiculous. I will argue, I do know smart Trump supporters, and it comes down to their priorities are completely different from ours. Their priorities are purely business and economics, and the way, Trump's positions benefit their business and their success and their money and their investment plans and all of that. And so, and they see the country, they see society as a reflection of the economy. And so if the economy is doing well, the country is doing well. And obviously I don't agree with that in any way, shape or form, but it's what I'm seeing more and more. Cause I work with a lot of people who are Republicans, and it tends to be that they are on the wealthier side and they want to stay that way, and they feel that this is the way that they stay that way.
Man, it's sad that even though they know that this man is an idiot and he's just there as a puppet head, basically.
He's useful.
He's pushing through all the shit that they want, and regardless if he's just thinking this whole campaign's a reality TV show,
He's a loser.
Loser!
But one thing that I wondered, and others have pointed out, is maybe Kavanaugh and Roberts are trying to save Republicans by not striking this down, because they realize they are still partisans, and they realize that if Republicans get this law stricken down, which is a very popular law that protects a lot of people, they're going to pay a price at the ballot box.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, maybe their thing is like, you guys don't know what's good for you, and we got to kind of save the party on
Papa knows what's best.
I mean, we're seeing a lot of that in general with a lot of the odd positions that Republicans are taking. I mean, there's some who are getting more willing to criticize Trump and his antics right now because he's lost. You're seeing a bunch who are not willing to, because they realize that their base is Trump supporter through and through. And so they're not willing to throw him under the bus when they otherwise would have had the perfect opportunity to do so. So you're getting a lot of weird splits here on what side people are ending up on. It's a very strange time for the Republican Party. And what I thought was going to happen a while ago was that basically the Republican Party was going to get pretty much burned to the ground by all the people, all of the reasonable Republicans leaving over how bad it is. But it really feels like they seem to be recoalescing and re-strengthening over this. And that's insane and scary to me.
Well, it seems like I thought that they were gonna, once Trump lost, they're gonna be like, "Whoa, we're gonna distance ourselves from this loser." But that's not the case. They're scared that he's going to run again in 2024. But
he probably is.
I don't think he will be able to. I
think he'll be dead.
He'll either be dead.
Fingers crossed.
I tend to agree with Christine.
He'll either be so demented that he won't even be able to speak, or
he should be in prison.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah,
like, he's going to get arrested by New York State. Yeah. There's investigations going on by Manhattan and by the state of New York going into Trump's organization fraud, tax evasion, you name it. He's going to get arrested. He's going to be in court. He will probably be in an orange jumpsuit by this time next year. You cannot run. You cannot be president.
Don't tease me if you're not going to finish me off, Dave.
Okay, I will. We'll come over next year around this time.
I've got all the equipment back here.
Yeah, there you go. Go to Jet. He'll be able to help you out. So
on that
I
note,
need DVDs and lotion.
Lots
That's
of
right.
DVDs and lotion.
Let's continue with our positive stories.
There we go.
Yes.
This week, Senators Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren said they wish to introduce a resolution canceling student debt up to $50,000 for all borrowers, and have talked to Biden, who is, quote, seriously entertaining the idea. According to Harvard Law School's project on predatory student lending, Congress has granted the Secretary of Education a more specific unrestricted authority to create and to cancel or modify debt owed under federal student loan programs and the Higher Education Act itself. Biden campaigned on canceling $10,000 in student debt for all borrowers. We're going to Christine, the president of the Joe Biden fan club, if you buy that Biden would do this, and are you as worried as I am that Republicans would challenge this kind of executive order in court?
The system is designed to spit out workers that have no other recourse. So if you give free education, one, GI Bill, why do we need it? So we have less soldiers. And then we have people who have to go immediately to work. They can't be artists. They can't travel. They can't explore. They can't go to grad school. They have to go immediately to work to pay off their student loans. Republicans want workers to make their rich toadies and cronies more money. And so, yes, they would fight that tooth and nail. I don't understand why any regular person out there would be against this. I think that it should be up to 50,000. I think it should be free, but barring that, 50,000. But hey, 10,000's fine. I'm still paying off my student loans, and I'm almost 25. Oh, come on, Christine, you cougar. Rare. But I do. But yes, they will challenge that, and the only opposition that I really see out there, and it's this weird thing, and I'm a little off topic, but it's this idea that people go, well, I had to pay for college. There's two types of people. There's people who paid for college and they go, exactly. They go, wow, that was difficult. I want the people that come after me to not have to worry about that. Let's give everyone in this country a step up and educate everyone, have better voters, have, all these things. And then there's the other half that go, I had to suffer, and now you do too. And those are what I call Republicans.
Yep.
My grandparents died of polio, and so should I.
Exactly.
My dad was in an iron lung, and I'm going to get in one next week. So
that's exactly what I regularly hear as one of the core things. Is it's not fair to the people who had their student loans and who had to pay for them. And yeah, it's not fair that people, centuries ago lived to the age of 45 and we get to live to 75 plus. Yeah. But we keep improving things for people. And that's part of the reason, part of the rationale of forgiving current student loans is, it would really suck for everyone from here on out to get free education and all the other people to be sitting there with their student debt. Of course, right. Same reasons why it sucks when we strike down marijuana laws and there's people still in prison for the previous marijuana laws and the efforts we're making to fix that situation too. Mm-hmm. My biggest concern with it is it purely canceling student loan debt, or is it also introducing free college going forward, because all it's doing is canceling the debt that's already there. But now our next generation is going to go right back to student loans. That's literally the opposite problem, where you're helping the previous generations and letting the future ones just get fucked.
Well, the thing about that is free 4-year college or free 2-year college, that has to go through Congress. The Secretary of Education doesn't have the authority to do that. So yeah, it would be kind of unfair. I don't know if it would be every successive graduate. They might be like 50 grand of your debt is gone. I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah. And then are the colleges going to increase their costs by 50 grand?
Yeah. All I mean, know is that it goes up. Loan gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's astronomical. I mean, how much? I mean, I paid a lot, and when I see how much my college costs now a year, I'm like, oh my God, you're getting to like 2, 3, 4 years per year. It's insane.
When I was a kid, I had a Brazilian exchange student, and he was in high school, and it was his goal. In Brazil, I don't know if it's still like this, but back then, the government funded schools were the best schools to get into, and if you had to test into those schools, and then it was free college. And if you didn't get into that school, you had to go to a private college and you had to pay for it, and the education wasn't as good. It wasn't as imagine Harvard, all our Ivy League schools would be government paid for, and you would go there for free if you could test into going there. But all your crappy schools, you had to pay for that, and if you didn't test into that, you had to go there. That's how it was. And so it's just
that's interesting.
That's really interesting, because it makes people strive to try to get into a good school and do well in school, so you can get free college. Not only just free, everybody thinks, oh, government, that's a piece of shit, but it's the best. So I don't know, there's a lot of different ways to think about this. There's a lot of countries that have free college, and you just don't think of it as crappy community college. Put it up at the top here.
There's many of our state schools that are top of the line.
Yeah, UCLA is a really good school. I mean, UW's great. I really do feel that we could make all state schools, all of It
used to be. Yeah, we used to be able to go.
Have it all be government funded. If you tested into that school, you could go there for free, but you could also choose to go to these private colleges. And I mean, here we have private colleges. They're really expensive and they might be better, but let's just raise the bar and just say all state schools, either university of whatever state or the state university, that's all funded by the federal or state governments. And if you test it in, raise the bar a little bit, say it's really hard to get into these schools now. If you get in, then you can go ahead and go for free. And so I think it really will drive people's motivation to try to get into these schools. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Take it as you will.
Oh, I'll take it.
Good.
I'll take it, and then I'll throw it in the garbage.
Yeah. But
I'm on fire tonight, guys. I am
snappy.
I've been watching Chappelle's show, and I've been learning a few tips on joke telling. So
on that quippy remark, let's go ahead and move on to our last segment.
All right.
And I don't have that.
Christine, we'll have you go first this week. Who should fuck off?
Ooh. That is a really good one. I think every single Stop the Steal protester, guys, you lost.
Yep.
Nothing was stolen. Just go home, lick your wounds, enjoy all the benefits of a Biden presidency that you will get. And I won't even ask for a thank you.
Well, that was
yes, I am taking credit for the presidency.
And you also said lost, so we're gonna go ahead and drink that.
Oh yeah.
Well, all I got is some strawberry bubbly.
Oh, that's the stuff.
Jarrett Kaufman, man who likes to complain about his clients. Who should fuck off?
I gotta go with the old standby of Mitch McConnell because we're still stuck with him for a while.
Good God, man.
Yeah, until that Horcrux curse on his hand takes the rest of his body, we've still got him. He can fuck off because I mean the reality is it's become more and more apparent through all of this that he was every bit the puppet master we saw him as in the way he utilized Trump this entire time for his and the GOP's benefits. And I think he's the Emperor Palpatine of this entire situation. And so, yeah, he can fuck the fuck off. And I look forward to never having to see his face again.
Well, that's the thing. That was the thing that pissed me off the most during the election. Like everything, I was like, all right, this is going smoothly. I didn't expect to outright win the Senate. I'm hoping that this Georgia runoff will be able to go ahead and win it and have a 50-50 split with the deciding vote being Kamala. But having Mitch and Lindsey Graham win that I was so fucking pissed when I saw that. I will say so
this.
Angry.
I'll say this about Kentucky that I didn't know. There's only a few states now that have a box you can tick that says vote straight ticket. And Kentucky is one of those states.
Wow.
I don't think that should be. I think people should have to actually pick each person because he's very unpopular in Kentucky.
Really?
Very unpopular.
Wow.
But they'll still vote for him because of the R. Well, and I think what you'll see is with states when they remove that, because Pennsylvania used to have that, you'll see a lot less straight ticket voting.
Well, like with Trump out of office, he is like public enemy number one. And if the Republicans stay in control of the Senate, like his damage is just going to continue to be done. It's just insane. The shit that he's been pulling. I really feel that Biden's. I mean, he'll have a hard time. He'll overcome that opposition, but it'll be much easier if he was out of the picture and the Democrats had control. Like they would be able to get to like real reform, like voter reform, ending the filibuster, just ending gerrymandering, trying to I know it might not be possible, but overturning Citizens United, just get some real reform in that will actually benefit people for the years to come. But I don't know.
Did you want to do a rant and tell us who should fuck off?
Oh, of course. I feel I've been seeing this post a lot. Donald Trump Jr. said this the quote is that 70 million Republicans lost. You don't see us burning down cities after. It's just like that is so fucking insensitive on so many different levels. Like you're not only people were protesting because of people of color are getting murdered by police. It's like a completely different. It's like apples and oranges there. Here you have a president who legally lost by 5 million votes. By the time the electoral votes is done, it's going to be over 40, 50 electoral votes that he's going to lose by. Like there's nothing that he can do no stupid frivolous piece of shit lawsuit that he can throw that's going to get this overturned. He lost. That's and like any other fucking presidential candidate who lost would have conceded a week ago, and they're like, oh yeah, this is clear, I'm gonna lose. But this goddamn narcissist is putting up a fight that he's not gonna win, and there's no reason to do it besides just wasting everyone's time, taxpayers' money, Joe Biden's our national security, for one thing. Like this is a very vulnerable time for our country, this transition of power, and he is not giving Biden security briefings so that he's ready to go when he gets into the White House. This fucker's going out fucking playing golf while fucking anybody could attack us right now, and he wants this to happen. He wants fucking enemies to come in and attack us so he can look like a good guy and Biden look like a bad guy because he's a goddamn fucking sociopath. Anyways, that's one thing. To have someone protest, not burn down cities. I don't know. Did you guys ever hear of any cities being burnt down? From
no, I'm pretty sure they're all still there.
I'm pretty sure they're all still there.
Chicago in the early 1900s by a cow.
But that wasn't these protests over Black Lives Matter. People are protesting so that people can have equal rights. That's a basic human right, that people can be treated equal, but cops are fucking shooting people in the back or just shooting people of color for no goddamn reason. And this dickhead like Donald Trump Jr. and I think it was Ted Nugent also made the same fucking Twitter, fucking Ted Nugent. But so I have one Republican.
He has all the credibility of Kevin Sorbo, who's also been quite active.
Sorry, just the thought of Ted, like you being like, I could take it from Donald Trump Jr., but not Ted Nugent.
His music.
That is the man who brought us cat scratch fever. How dare you?
But so I have one Republican friend that I still have on Facebook, and she's the mother of a lot of really good friends of mine that I've had my whole life. She helped me out a lot in hospital when I was in the hospital for a period of time. But she reposted that, and I said, well, please insert the sentence that says cops, these people, Republicans weren't protesting over somebody getting shot by cops because of the color of the skin. And she's like, well, my husband's a cop, and he saves lots of people's lives no matter what their color is. Like, that doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter that there's good cops out there. The problem is that people aren't recognizing that there are laws put in place, that these police unions, that they can't change their fucking laws. If they go and they shoot people, there's no repercussions for it. They're murdering people and they don't get in trouble for it. Any other fucking job profession, if you murder somebody on the job, you're going to get in trouble. But police can't do it. Oh, they're protecting people. If you take the way,
that's good to know, though, Dave.
Yeah, in case you didn't know that,
down.
At my job, if I was to kill somebody, I would go to jail. If anybody wanted to know that, because I actually work with Christine's husband, so that
I'm glad he's home now.
Yes, that should make her very happy. That if I was to murder somebody at my job,
what if my clients are really annoying?
Nope. I'm pretty sure you would go to jail. You would go.
I know they are every day.
Yeah.
Because I rarely go on Facebook. Whenever I do, you're like, fuck. Damn it. I cannot take these people anymore. They won't even restart their computers.
Jed's gonna murder somebody. But
Nope.
But no, if
you just told me I can't, so I'm not gonna do it.
If you're upset,
license to kill.
You can
They're James
murder
Bond.
Somebody, and you know what? They might get a slap on the wrist. They might get laid off from their job. But they don't go to jail, and that's the real fucked up thing right there.
There's a bunch of people that need to fuck off this week, and let me tell you about them.
All right,
First of all,
Mark's got it now.
Are the people who are like, we need to empathize with the Trump supporters as they mourn. Listen, when Democrats win, none of your rights are taken away.
Yep.
No one stops you from owning a gun. No one stops you from going to church. But when Republicans win, a lot of our rights are threatened.
Yep.
I have multiple pre-existing conditions. And thankfully, shout out to my employer, who I won't name, they give me they give me health insurance now. Before they did, I had to buy it myself for hundreds of dollars. Mm-hmm. And if the ACA hadn't existed, they would have just been like, fuck you. You can pay $700 or you cannot have health insurance.
And die.
On top of that, women's reproductive rights are being violated. You know, you have the wait times for abortions, and you have states with only one abortion clinics. Those are because of Republicans winning. A lot of my friends are DACA recipients, and they were going to get deported because Republicans were taking it to the Supreme Court, trying to get them thrown out. Another one where John Roberts was the swing vote. If he had voted differently, some of my friends would have gotten deported. And we have our black friends who, when George Floyd was murdered, Donald Trump just made things as divisive as possible.
Hey, there's good people on both sides, remember?
We need to take sides. Well, he didn't say that. He was like, we need to take sides, basically, and I'm on the side of the police. And
law and order.
Yeah, law and order. Even though I'm going to break every law, including raping
SVU.
women. Yeah.
I'm not going to empathize with people who didn't apologize for trying to take my health insurance. Secondly, Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue need to fuck off.
Hold on, Mark. I want to bring up the importance of LGBT rights. Marrying your partner, regardless of their gender or
yours
or my gender or anybody's gender, that's not going to hurt anybody. If a man and a man marry somebody, the person who's not involved in that marriage, they're not going to be hurt by that. So you shouldn't fucking care. I don't give a shit what your fucking religion is. I'm a Christian. I don't fucking what I think shouldn't have to affect this. So if this partner dies and they're not married and this person doesn't get to inherit the house, they don't get the 401k, they don't get the Social Security, they have to pay taxes on all that shit. But that's fucked up.
Dave, do I have to bake them cakes?
Yes.
Anyway,
so keep on going, Mark. I just wanted to add that.
Those senators need to fuck off. They wrote a letter to the Georgia Secretary of State saying there was all this fraud, there was all this irregularities, you should quit, without any sort of evidence. I'm glad that he basically said, fuck you, I did a good job. Both of these people are crooks. Both of these people made stock decisions after being briefed on the coronavirus. They both need to go. And lastly, people like Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz, who are peddling all this conspiracy theory shit, those people are smart people. Ted Cruz went to an Ivy League school. He is a smart man. He understands that there is no way that these results would be overturned. The reason that they do this is because their party has really unpopular ideas and would never have anyone get elected if it was based on ideas. Their party exists through culture war and grievances.
And the fact that they have the greatest, the majority in the Senate covers the minority of the people. I mean, you got 36 votes going to states that have 36 Senate.
7 people in them.
They have 7 people. They have less people than the county of Los Angeles right now, and that's really fucked up. And they have 36,
and it's racist.
And it's all racist. All this shit was the Electoral College.
Most of those states are really white. Let's be honest.
It's all white. Yeah, they're all white.
It's extremely disproportionate.
So
very much so.
In summation, all of those people can fuck off. That is our show. Yeah. Thank you so much to Dave Stratton, Christine Tarbet, and Jarrett Kaufman. It is always a pleasure. I hope to see you guys again soon.
Well,
more of a pleasure this week.
We're going to keep going, guys. It's going to be fucked up. Go Biden. Go fucking Biden. You can do it. You can do it.
Good show, guys.
Good show.
Good show.
I think we're done.